Hi, if you don't know who I am, it doesn't really matter. Just know that I used to be terrified of speaking in front of a camera. Actually, I used to be terrified of speaking in front of people, public speaking, much less, let alone a camera, where you can record things and they can be posted on the internet for everyone to see forever. That's a terrifying thought, or at least it used to be a terrifying thought. Now I kind of welcome it. Now I like being authentic. I like to try to be my authentic self on camera. But this video is for people like me who are dreamers. I actually grew up on a farm. No, I didn't grow up on a farm. I grew up in the suburbs. I didn't even grow up in a city. I wish I grew up in a city like New York City or something like, where this show takes place. But this video is for the dreamers, and it's not hard to point out. It's not hard for me to notice when somebody is like me, because usually they are maybe not as shy or timid as me, because I'm just naturally a shy and timid person. It took me a long time to accept that and be okay with it and kind of play around with it and use it to my best ability or use it to my advantage. But people who are dreamers that I know personally are usually in their own little world. They are in their head a lot. They think over things a lot. And they have a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-deprecating jokes about them. They like to joke. They're good. They're whimsical. They're little, jesters or jokers or whatever. And they like to not necessarily see the best in people, because people can be nasty, whatever. But they like to see the best in the world as a whole. I think the world as a whole, the human race as a concept is lovely. I mean, think about it. We're here, we're breathing, we're alive. We have things to look forward to. We have food, we have animals. We have children, and we raise them up to be workers, builders, painters, and active participants in a society. Whether or not you believe society is kind of crumbling down at the moment, whether or not you believe in humanity, or you've lost hope in humanity, or you still think that humanity is on a good path and we're headed forward into a nice future, whether or not you believe in aliens, and whether or not, how many times I can say whether or not you're counting how many times I say whether or not. But maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for the aliens to, because aliens do exist, obviously. They built the pyramids, obviously. But maybe it's time for them to beam us up now, right? What have you, as far as your beliefs, your values, your morals, your principles, blah, 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 etc. I think we all, us dreamers, remember this video is for the dreamers, not for people, not for anyone else, right? But I think that for everyone else, speaking of everyone else that exists on this planet, they seem to sometimes treat us dreamers as the aliens that I mentioned before, just now. Because they don't think about it. The only reason why you would be afraid of an alien is because you're not privy to their unknown technology, their unknown celestial powers, or whatever. You don't know what you don't know, therefore you fear what you don't know, and the unknown can serve as kind of like an enemy for you. You might think that obviously you'll think that an enemy is there to, make fun of you or attack you or hurt you in some way. Now, the funny thing about that is that's usually how people like me, I feel, is that the people who don't understand them and who think that they're aliens and who alienate them, or, I might alienate myself, we assume, or we believe in our heads that people are kind of out to get us, and they don't want us to achieve our dreams. They want us to feel like what we're doing is a waste of time, which we know deep down that it's not. And I've noticed that a lot of dreamers like me are emotional about these things, sensitive. They hold their art as if they hold their art close to their heart, and they hold it to their chest, and because they speak from their chest. They're singing from their chest, or painting from their chest, or filming from their chest. They care about the craft that they're in, that they're working on, whatever industry it may be. Now, modern industries, modern companies, evil entities, evil corporations tend to be like vampires, because they like to suck the life out of something that is already working, right? And by that, I just mean they love to make money from it. So there's this weird standard or expectation, or almost like a given for people who aren't like us dreamers, where they think, or they know, apparently, it's like for sure, like it's like a known thing that you just have to know when you're born. They truly, fully believe that you have to make an earning or a living to be valid. And by valid, I just mean a functioning member of society. And by a functioning member of society, you just take it from the man. The man is gonna basically F you over and F you in the butt. And you need to just take it. And you need to just be happy that you're at least making a living so that you can feed your family, so that you can pay the bills, and so that you can continue the cycle of wanting more, which will never be enough. That's called greed, right? So us dreamers don't dream from greed. We dream from curiosity, we dream from inspiration, and we dream from wanting to create more. So on one side, you have people wanting to make more money, and on the other side, you have people wanting to create more art. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other, or one is good and one is bad. What I am saying is that the lines can be kind of blurred. Not everything is black and white. Some things are not as clear. And I think when it comes to art, the ambiguity of it, the nuance of it, it's going to be gray, obviously, right? It's going to be colorful. It's going to be beautiful, aesthetically speaking. But it's going to be gray. When I say gray, I don't mean literally gray. I just mean it's going to be neither here nor there. Sometimes you might get driven by money, greed. You might fall into that pattern of like, well, I need to please these kinds of people, so I'm going to make art for them. But you can also stay true to your roots. Stick to your guns, stick to your vision, not stray from your vision, not sell out, not sell your soul. So it's a very human thing, art, money, all these subjects I'm talking about right now. But I think the main thing to remember, for you and me, us dreamers, is that the reason why we decided to dream in the first place was not to conform to the ideas of the world, but to conform to our own pure hearts. Am I saying that you need to have a pure heart and be a perfectly good and righteous person to create art that is good? I don't know. It's your opinion. And that's what matters, right? I think we like, as a society right now, we like to pretend like our opinions don't matter. And like things are the way that they are and that's it. And like facts, just straight facts. Like everyone just spit straight facts and agree upon one thing that makes sense. Abuse the formula that works. If it worked one time, then it's got to work over and over. That's why we're making, as humans, we're making movies that are damn near AI, because they don't have soul. They don't have a particular rhythm that is found in cult classic films. Not to sound pretentious, or not to be pretentious, and not to be elitist or fall into like this snobby kind of group, not to fall into that group of people, but when you watch a movie, you know right away if it's human or not. And I think a lot of media is lacking humanity. Whether or not AI exists and whether or not AI is going to take over the world by storm, which it seems that way now, but we'll see in a couple of years. I think the main objective should be and will always be to remember that opinions do actually matter. Having your own originality and individuality matters and is important. And sometimes that looks messy. Sometimes that's kind of dirty, right? Sometimes it doesn't seem pure. It doesn't seem morally, ethically, spiritually sane or sound. But what I've noticed is that through pain, through tragedy, through hard times, if you make it out alive, if you make it through and out the other side, maybe not unscathed, but like not dead, then that to me is what is valid. That's being a true dreamer. And then having something to show for it, a piece of art that you made by yourself, even though everyone around you was telling you, don't dream, don't do that. Don't look inside of your own soul to find what you need to find. Look at what Apple, no offense, I have an iPhone. Look at what Apple is promoting to you right now. Look at the new iPhone that you absolutely need. Of course you need the new iPhone, right? Of course you need to upgrade your life so that you can post that on post it on social media so that other people can see that you have the latest iPhone. Of course. That's the corporate mentality. That's what we've been fed for the last maybe 20 years, give or take, I don't know. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when things happen. I think it matters why things happen. We need to look back into history, kind of analyze it a little bit, but not get obsessed with it. Take what we need from it, inspiration from films, old music, whatever, and use that in the year 2026 to create something brand new that has nothing to do with selling you a product, but more so giving you a gift. And that gift is you, your art, and your heart, your originality, like literally you. You are the dreamer and you are who matters. No matter what anyone else is doing, I implore you and I strongly encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. No matter what I even say, no matter what any YouTube video on earth says, keep dreaming and keep working at it, because it will pay off, and it'll pay off in a way that you can't even imagine. Sorry if I sound like I'm about to cry. I mean, I should cry because this is a very, very deep and sensitive topic that I know a lot of young dreamers need to hear right now. So don't worry about what's happening next week. Do what you need to do this very second, and just do it. Nike. Speaking of evil corporations, I'm not saying Nike is evil. In fact, I wish I had more Nike shirts, for real. But thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of 2026.